Hello friends, it's been a while since I made a video, and I felt just like I wanted to make one, especially of a song that I wrote about a couple years ago. It's called The Lord of Glory, and it's about God and His glorious character, about His justice and His wrath and His goodness and His mercy and His kindness and His keeping power towards His people. And that thing about God keeping His people and working all things together for our good is such an encouragement, especially as you see things getting worse and worse in our nation and the climate getting more hostile towards biblical truth and Christianity. I'm just so thankful to be one of God's and know that I have eternity to spend with Him no matter what ever happens to us here, which is a great comfort. So if you're a Christian, I hope this song encourages you in the glory of God, and that He's working all things together for our good and for His purposes, and that He wins in the end. And that's very encouraging to me. And if you're not a Christian, the fact that He wins in the end should really put fear in you. The wrath of God is not a joke. The Son of God Himself was terrified to face the wrath of God, even though He did, thankfully. But He was terrified of it, and you should be more terrified of it. And anyway, so I hope this song maybe makes you want to seek His mercy while there's still time. He's good. He's very merciful. We're living. We're breathing right now. Most of you who are watching this are healthy and have food provided for you, and God, all those things are blessings from God, and there's time to turn to Him and worship Him now. And one day every knee will bow, every tongue will confess that Jesus Christ is Lord, which is going to be awesome. And I encourage you to do that now if you haven't done that already. And to be a friend of God is glorious. To be an enemy of God is terrifying. So this song is called The Lord of Glory. Though He's Lord of the nations, so very few ever praise Him. And what a frightening mystery that is certainly waiting for who resist Him and choose to miss Him, who have ignored, soon will bow before the Lord of glory. He's the Lord of glory, judging the nations with justice and truth. He's vindicating His own righteous rule, the Lord of glory. This God who's shown us His mercy, He jealously guards His own seed. So glad to be in that number of those called blessed by the Father, those who love Him, who are born of Him, soon will see Him and will be like Him, the Lord of glory. He's the Lord of glory. Though He's the high and exalted one, He draws near to each of His contrite sons, the Lord of glory. Yeah. Who can stand before
the King, whose will is always done, and who can boast of anything before the holy righteous one. He's the Lord of glory. He's the Lord of glory. He's the Lord of glory.